talk about the interview. So I have a series of questions that you need to download. They are right below this video, and I've sectioned them out, and I'm going to show them to you in just a minute. But I want you to keep a few things in mind as we go through these interview questions. Number one, I don't know what interview questions you're going to get. I have interviewed hundreds of teachers. I have worked with many principals. I have been in this game for a long time. I'm going to give you everything I have. But it's quite possible that a principal might throw out a question that you're not prepared for, and that's okay. So just remember, I'm going to do everything I can to get you all the information so you're super prepared for your interview. But things happen, and you might get a question you don't know the answer to, and that's okay. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Also, there are all different types of teachers. For example, you might be a brand new teacher. You have never taught before, ever. You just got out of college, or perhaps you are leaving a career as an accountant or something else, and now you have decided to enter the field of teaching. So we're going to look at these questions from both angles, someone who already is a teacher, and then I'm going to give you an angle for someone who is brand new to the classroom, never entered the classroom. And I believe that both perspectives will help you regardless of which one you are. And you're going to see that unfold as I go through the questions, okay? And also, there are different types of teachers in terms of content area and grade level. Some of you are elementary education teachers. Some of you are middle school teachers. Some of you are high school teachers. Some of you are moving from elementary to middle or middle to high. So I'm going to give you some different scenarios when I go through these questions to meet each level, primary and secondary. Okay. Now, and when I say primary, I mean elementary. And when I say secondary, I mean middle and high school. Now, I want you to be careful not to be robotic. We're having a conversation here. I'm giving you a few different options. What I don't want you to do is try to memorize exactly what I am saying, because it's going to come off very robotic and rehearsed to the principal. What I want you to do is print out these questions, listen or watch this interview webinar with me, and then make it your own. Your own personality is important. You don't want to just regurgitate every single little thing I am saying and sound like a robot. We want you to be you. And if you don't know the answer to a question, it's okay to pause and think. I will tell you that when I was interviewing teachers and we asked a question that perhaps was a little tricky, and the teacher paused to think, I found that to be amazing, because I'm someone who just talks. I don't even breathe or wait. Silence scares me. I don't like it. And so I tend to ramble. People who pause and wait to figure out the right answer or to take a second to really think about the question, I just admire those people so much. So it's okay to sit there for, 3 to 5 seconds and think about what you want to say. So let's say the principal gives you a hard question like, how will you be a data-driven instructor? And you're nervous and you're caught off guard. Just take a minute to think about it. And that's okay, because we want you to be methodical. We want you to be intentional. We don't want you to just spout out any old thing that we think is good. So just take a minute. It's okay. And the last thing I will say, relax. I know it's hard, and I know it's easy for me to say, relax. Listen, there's a teacher shortage out there. Okay. They need you more than you need them. That doesn't mean you should go into the interview cocky or arrogant or, just not very nice. But try to remember that they need teachers really, really, really badly. And so it's okay if you do not have a perfect answer for every single question. What they want is someone who is going to engage the student, someone who is going to differentiate instruction, someone who is going to have good classroom management, and most importantly, someone who is coachable and teachable. Most principals want to be able to have teachers who will do what they say. Just to put it out there, who will implement the programs they want, who will teach the strategies they want, who will do the things the district tells them to do. This is a giant machine, and you're about to be a cog in that machine. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Public education is a huge organization in your state. And so they just want you to kind of roll with the punches, do what you're supposed to do, and help students achieve. Okay. And if you can do that, you can be a teacher. And just remember, they need you more than you need them. Relax. If you don't get this job, you'll get another one. All right. Oh, and one more thing I will tell you. Please be positive. Never, ever, 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 ever bring up anything negative about a former boss, a former principal, a former colleague. Never express dislike for anyone. It is a red flag and tells the principal that you are difficult to work with, even if it's not your fault. Even if you've worked for the worst boss in the history of the world and your boss was mean to you and had it out for you, okay? I don't care. Please do not bring it up in an interview. Try not to bring it up anywhere. Don't talk about it with anybody. Don't express it with anybody, because all that stuff gets back to all the principals. Please keep it positive. Even if you do not like a principal or you do not like your former boss, you love that person. I'm so grateful for the opportunity she gave me. He helped me do X, Y, and Z. Please do not say anything negative, because it will kill your interview. Okay. All right. With that in mind, let's hop into the questions, and let me just hop over to my presentation quickly to show you the different questions, and also be sure to download them for yourself, print them if you can, or put them on your device and take some notes as I talk. Remember, you're going to want to make these your own. I'm giving you examples today that I think are good examples, but we want to make sure your voice, your personality comes out. So take those notes and determine how you can make it your own. All right, so here's my presentation here. Now, you have these in the handouts below, so be sure to print those out. I've just broken them up into slides, and I've broken them up into kind of topics that we want to think about. So the first topic is classroom management questions. I put this one first because, in my opinion, this is the most important. And I bet 99% of the principals out there feel that this is the most important. We'll talk about that in a second. Then planning questions. How are you going to plan instruction? Then instructional questions. How are you going to deliver that instruction? Then struggling students, because we all have students who need help. Even the best students struggle sometimes. So these are questions geared towards that. Then some miscellaneous that you might get in there. And you want to think of these in kind of overarching terms. These should not be thought of as specific questions. You will get questions like these. Remember, I don't know what questions you are going to be asked on your interview. I have no idea, but I hope many of these will be part of that. And then when they ask you, what questions do you have for us? When someone asks you that in the interview, I don't know about you, I always get stopped in my tracks. I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to give you just a couple of things you can ask and keep it at that, and make it so that you look good before leaving the interview if they ask you this question. Not everybody will ask, but some will. All right. So be sure you download those questions, print them out, and have something to write with so we can go through those now. Let's move on to the classroom management questions.